Welcome to another NBA 2K17 rebuild. Today we are rebuilding the Orlando Magic, a team that could go either way this upcoming season. Looking at the roster in 2K, it looks like a pretty good sim roster. Spacing is not really a problem with sim, in my opinion. We'll actually load up a draft class because we might actually draft a player this upcoming season because now we got some draft classes now that it's not week 1 of the game anymore. So I guess I've just downloaded the first available draft class. I'm on Xbox One, so sure, why not? Let's make storylines in the draft class. That's pretty interesting. I'm not on PS4, so you know that's why Xbox One. There's just like no community behind it that makes cool things for it. So I don't mind it at all. But let's take a look at the roster. This roster is pretty weird on paper, not gonna lie. In real life, spacing is gonna be a problem, but like I said in 2K, spacing shouldn't be a problem considering all their guards can shoot, but then when you go to the small forwards and like the power forwards, and it gets, I don't know, it's going to be a difficult time for the Orlando Magic to shoot in real life unless Aaron Gordon can just shoot lights out all of a sudden. But Aaron Gordon's going to be playing the small forward position, and that's the position we're going to put him as. But first we got to find out what we're going to do with this like trio of Biyombo, Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, Ibaka. So let's see who has the biggest salary here that doesn't deserve that said salary. So Biyombo, most highest paid player, and Fournier are the most highest paid player. And then Jeff Green, wow. He's 30 years old, 77 overall. I don't feel like he should be getting paid more than Serge Ibaka. So we'll try to look to move Jeff Green, and then we'll see what happens. So this is the first trade we're able to cook up with the Washington Wizards. We send Jeff Green a 1-year, $15 million contract, which isn't that bad for Ian Mahinmi and Desmond Rudes and Cliff Alexander, both expiring contracts. We're giving up expiring contracts for a backup center. And I know what you're thinking. We already have Biyombo, we have Vucevic, and we have a variety of different big men. So why are we getting this ugly contract of Ian Mahinmi? Well, I trust Ian Mahinmi, and his overall does go up as a backup center, and he could possibly even start for this Orlando Magic team just in case Vucevic gets injured. So we're going to try this trade, and the Magic happily accepted getting Ian Mahinmi's huge contract off their hands. And now, alright, so here we kind of make up for that Ian Mahinmi contract that we just took on with the Wizards. We're going to be giving up DJ Augustine and Jody Meeks for Robert Covington and TJ McConnell. We get a backup small forward for Aaron Gordon that can shoot, and then a nice young point guard because CJ Watson, I don't know if he's going to be on this team for much longer. So let's see if they accept it. They want some picks, and they'll give us Hollis Thompson. You know, you can keep Hollis Thompson, and we'll just give you a second-round pick. Do you want that? You cool with that? No? You want to give us Nick Stauskas? No, thank you, please. We'll give you more second-round picks. We got second-round picks for days out here. There we go. Let's actually go into the settings real quick and change the injuries because I know a lot of you guys had to dim those down. Is it injury? Here we go. I would assume this is it. A lot of you guys told me to go down to 25. I'll go down to 30, and we'll see if we get season-ending injuries like we did last season or the last few episodes of this, because the season-ending injury effects. What is this? Adjust how? Okay, that could stay the same, but yeah, the frequency of the injuries should be turned at least halfway, and I feel like that doesn't really affect it that much. Everything else looks... So now let's get into simulating. And just when we started simulating, Aaron Gordon goes out with the injury. Luckily, it's only 1 to 2 weeks, so it might not be that bad. As long as, we don't get any season-ending injuries, I'll be happy, We're going to disable all of these trades, but we're winning games. Surprisingly, we're 6-2, 7-2. Let's see how well this keeps going. So we're coming up on trade deadline, and we're 34. We have 34 wins and 23 losses, 35 wins and 23 losses. Let's take a look at the roster. I think this is by far one of our first year's better seasons. And we have an injury to Aaron Gordon. But luckily, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So, contract extensions. I don't want to mess anything up. Ibaka's undecided. I would love to re-sign Ibaka. So maybe that's what we'll do in the offseason. Because on the rate that we're going right now, we'll make the playoffs in the first season, which is crazy. The Orlando Magic making the playoffs? Coming to the end of the season, we were 51-31 in our first season. That's absolutely crazy. The trades I've made and turning down the injury frequency rating, I feel like that was able to propel the Orlando Magic to 51 wins, and these are all the season award winners. Take a look at that. We're in the playoffs as a second seed in the playoffs. First season, that's absolutely crazy to me. Just because we turned down, I'm assuming because we turned down the frequency of the injuries, or it could just be this Orlando Magic team is that good. Look at the 80s. Look at the 80 overalls. There's a good amount of players that are close to reaching that 80 overall. No injuries except for Robert Covington. So see, even though we did turn the frequency of injuries off, we still get injuries, but luckily he's not out for the season because we're gonna need him in the playoffs, and we're going up against the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs. Let's just simulate the current round and see what happens. Hopefully Robert Covington is able. Oh my god. Man, oh man. This is why I like simulating game by game, because whenever I pick simulate round, I feel like we lose more. I don't know why, but we got kicked out in the first round against the Milwaukee Bucks. That's unfortunate. But we were the second seed, man. So that means if we don't reach the second seed these next 2 years, we're a failure of a team. But the Golden State Warriors won a championship, and the Toronto Raptors got swept. Yeah, that seems like the Toronto Raptors thing to do. So we kind of want a good draft pick this year just to see what happens. So we're getting Jameer Nelson back on the squad if the Nuggets want to do this trade, because they give up the 8th overall pick, and I want to see what available players in this upcoming draft there is at number 8. So let's see if they take this. I mean, we got more picks. We got more picks we could give you, man. So let's just give you all the picks. And there we go. The Denver Nuggets. We gave up a lot of picks for that 8th pick, but we traded up because I did not want to sit through this entire screen of drafting, because this drafting screen, like, this is the time where just teams start jerking off with the amount of trades they do. It's ridiculous. Edric Adebayo, apparently he's from Kentucky. He must be a freshman or something, because I've never heard of him on a Kentucky roster before. But he's a 73 overall. He's the best available overall player. No one really comes close besides Grayson Allen and this guy, Markelle Fultz. So I think we're going with another power forward, even though we don't need another power forward, but I think we're going to go with that. He's the best available rookie, so we're drafting him. Welcome to the team, Adebayo. If you're a real rookie going to Kentucky, I'll learn about you, because for some reason I just end up watching a lot of Kentucky games. I wouldn't call myself a Kentucky fan. I just so happen to watch Kentucky games, considering they're more nationally televised. So that was my first ever draft in NBA 2K17. I think I'm going to be doing that a little bit more often, considering now that we actually have the rookies, or at least some of the rookies, projected to be in this upcoming year's draft. So I'm not going to give a player option. I'm not going to give a contract, rather, to CJ Watson or CJ Wilcox. CJs are not welcome on this team, apparently. So we'll see if we could re-sign Ibaka. I'm not sure if he's going to be a mandatory thing, considering we got the rookie from Kentucky. So he's a 73 overall, and then we got Biyombo there. So it's going to be interesting to see if we're able to re-sign him. I hope we are. I really do. He's expired. We'll offer him a contract. And we can't sign Serge Ibaka, man. Serge Ibaka has left the Orlando Magic to sign with the Boston Celtics. Out of all teams, the Boston Celtics, really, Serge? We were going to pay you some money. We had you under contract for 3 years, 14 million or almost 15 million per year. But he signs with the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics must have threw him a lot of money. And now we're left like in limbo where we can't sign a good player. I mean, we can't even sign Jeff Teague. So Serge Ibaka left a huge hole with this Orlando Magic team. I mean, the next best guy is J.R. Smith that we're able to sign. It sucks that we weren't able to re-sign Serge Ibaka, because I feel like with Serge Ibaka, we were able to take the next step as a team. But unfortunately, we went out to sign guys like Michael Beasley and Alex Len. So now we have a variety of different big men that we might need to trade. I kind of like Ian Mahinmi. His overall has been going up. But now one of the big guys is probably on the out. And it sucks because Serge Ibaka ruined all my plans with this Orlando Magic team, because him and Biyombo, they were going to be like the guys once Vucevic started declining. And yeah, Vucevic is only 80 overall. Biyombo and Ibaka were like 81s. So here's what the roster is going to look like in the second season. We didn't do any trades. We're going to see how Ian Mahinmi and Alex Len play out. I'm not sure if we could get anything for Ian Mahinmi or Alex Len yet. Len, because we just signed Alex Len, and we can't trade him right away. So we're going to play at least half the season with both those guys being our starting or backup rather center. Let's start simulating games, see if we're able to win some, and hopefully losing to Ibaka won't cause us to be a worse seed than last year. Hopefully we could become the second seed again or better, and we're having a pretty okay start, 6-3. We got to start picking up the pace though. Let's go on a little winning streak here. Can we win against the Spurs? No. This is absolutely crazy, the amount of wins this Orlando Magic team is being able to put up. This is by far one of the better seasons and better teams we've rebuilt, because the first season we had like 34 wins, and now we have 41, and we're probably like we're the first seed in the Eastern Conference. That's absolutely crazy. Nobody's injured. Just imagine if we... Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. We can't trade Ian Mahinmi now. We can't trade Ian Mahinmi now because he's hurt, and that really sucks considering he's a pretty big contract. And now that we have Alex Len, maybe we could trade Alex Len. He's a 77. My God. And we are the second seed. Wow. The Cavs were able to dethrone us. Is that probably because the Ian Mahinmi trade that caught up to us? Let's see if he's still hurt. He's not, but Biyombo is. Luckily, he's day-to-day. Actually, they're both day-to-day. And then Robert Covington is day-to-day too. So let's simulate it game by game, because last time we did this, we simulated current round, and it just seemed like we were outnumbered, because for some odd reason it seems like we lose a lot more games when we just simulate in bulk rather than simulating like round by round, as we swept the Detroit Pistons. Man, what happened to Detroit? This team does amazing in simulation, and can we... Oh no, I was about to say, if we would have won the second game, our hopes would have been able to sweep the Pacers. Going to 6, and we went to 6 and beat the Pacers. And this is by far one of the craziest teams we've rebuilt, just because this team's so good in simulation. I'm not sure if this is an indication of how good this team will be in real life, but in 2K, there's a good amount of high 80s on this roster, and we're fighting the Cavs. We're up 2-1 against the Cavs. Okay, we're up 3-1 against the Cavs. Let's hope we don't choke like Steph Curry did. Please, let's finish this. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Alright. Moment of truth. Please don't choke. Okay. There we go. The Cavs, they pulled a comeback, but not nearly as much as we did. And we're going against the Jazz or the Spurs in the finals, and it's the Jazz. Wow. This is probably the most boring NBA finals ever if this were to happen. The Jazz have Kemba Walker. Okay. Kemba got to the finals. Congratulations, Kemba. Do they have Gordon? Oh, they got Nick Batum too. Wow. Okay, so they might have traded Gordon Hayward and Nick Batum for Kemba. Oh, they got Harry Giles, the rookie. Oh, Gordon Hayward's still on the team. He's just out for the season. Who'd they trade then? Derek Favors? They probably... Alec Burks is out for the season. I'm not saying this is a sweep, but we should be winning these games. And let's see if we can sweep. They have 2 major players out for the season with season-ending injuries. It's absolutely crazy considering I turned their frequency meter down as well for the CPU. But we won our second year with the Orlando Magic. That's absolutely crazy. I thought this would be a longer rebuild, but we won. Vucevic, Finals MVP. Serge Ibaka, he went with the Boston Celtics, and I don't think they were nowhere to be found in the title picture with us. So that feels pretty good, man. Ibaka, you want to go get more money, but you didn't win an NBA championship. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get anything from Ian Mahinmi. We actually probably could have kept him. I thought, to be totally honest, we were able to sign not a first-tier superstar, but like maybe a middle-class player that would help bolster up this lineup. But unfortunately, all the players we were able to sign is Jameer Nelson. I mean, he won a championship with his Magic team last season in the rebuild, so maybe he could win 2 back-to-back in the 3rd season. And the team looks nice. It doesn't look that drastically different. It's an overall good lineup, and it works in 2K considering we won in our second year, surprisingly, as a second seed. Even our first season, we were the second seed, so that's absolutely crazy. Our point guard position could be an upgraded, but I like Elfrid Payton, and unless the Magic give up on him, I'm not going to give up on him like they gave up on Victor Oladipo just to get Serge Ibaka, who walked in 2K for us. Imagine if we still had Serge Ibaka. that'd be great. So this is the starting rotation for the third season. I didn't really rebuild this team. This team doesn't really need to be rebuilt in 2K. It looks like, considering they're able to win. I mean, we did minor adjustments. We got rid of some big salaries, and the only big salary we really got rid of was Jeff Green, and he was on a 1-year expiring deal. So, and DJ Augustine, I guess, but we didn't do that much rebuilding with this team. I kind of feel guilty for calling this a rebuild, and it is a rebuild in a sense, but I try to keep this as realistic as possible, and I feel like by far, this is probably one of the more realistic rebuilds I've done in 2K17, because the least amount of trades we've been able to do, and we don't need to do trades. We're winning games. This is crazy. 44 wins? 44 wins before trade deadline, dude. Why is this team so good? I mean, I'm not complaining, but I guess these young teams like the Magic, like the Minnesota Timberwolves, maybe these teams can be really good in rebuilds. Considering a lot of the players are high 80s. They're not high 80s, but 80, 80, 80. Almost an 80, almost an 80. Like, compared to other teams, look at the Mavericks. Look how bad the Mavericks team is. I mean, they got Mike Conley somehow, but that's absolutely crazy. We have a variety of different 80s, and maybe that's why we're winning, and I'm not complaining. It's shocking to me that the Magic are this good. And we got Coach of the Year, 61-21. That's absolutely crazy for the Magic. No, like, awards for our players, and that's probably because we just have a variety of different good players, and no one standout player, and no standout injury either. So that's wonderful. So we're gonna go game by game against the Celtics team. Serge Ibaka should still be on the Celtics team unless he gets traded. Let's actually find out if he's on this team. Serge Ibaka, there you go. He's putting up 5 points. Okay. Serge, I just want to know, you committed career suicide. They might have paid you more, but we're winning championships, even though if they did just tie it 2-2. The Boston Celtics are not upsetting us as the 8th seed, and we are able to win in 6th. You could have won multiple championships together. You guys could have been the new version of the Twin Towers from the Congo. But nah, you wanted money. You went to the Boston Celtics and got eliminated in the first round, and we might just back-to-back NBA. Actually, I speak too soon. The Raptors. So here we go. Able to win that one in Game 7. That's absolutely crazy. We're getting pushed to our limits here. And now the Cavs. Okay, a rematch with the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they took a 0-2 lead. Game 3. Win that one. 2 we win. 58-24. That's the record. And we are just we're pulling a comeback on them. Managed to win in 6, so 6-7-6. And now let's see who our opponent is. Hopefully it's the 7th seeded Denver Nuggets, so we can sweep them too. But it's not. It's the Houston Rockets. Let's go game by game here and see if we're able to pull off the victory against this Houston Rockets team. They win Game 2, we win Game 3, and we win Game 4. So Finals MVP. That's crazy. It wasn't Vucevic or Biyombo, but that's awesome for him, man. And there you have it. We won the Orlando Magic 2 NBA titles, never before done in the franchise. I feel honored that this team was able to click together that fast. And like I said, I don't know if it's because of the frequency of injuries that I turned down. So last few rebuilds that I've done, players were out for the season, like during the playoffs, and that absolutely killed me. But now that didn't really happen. It happened with a few players, like they had injuries, but they weren't out for the season. So I like that you guys suggested that. But 61-21, 2 back-to-back championships with the Orlando Magic. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for suggesting turning down the injuries slightly. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.